This is CG Ruthless Sports. I will be brutally honest. Ain't nothing but being brutally honest. Coming at you with another video.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Chiefs content creator, Arrowhead Chief Podcast, Chris Style. Man, what's up, man?
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me on, man.
No problem, man. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media platform.
You can find us on AH Chief Podcast. We're on Twitter, Instagram, got the Facebook page, and we got a TikTok page. You can follow us on all of those. We'll follow you back because our motto is we not Hollywood. So we just fans out here, man, just showing the content, man.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So as a content creator, what made you into the Kansas City Chiefs, man?
I was born into it, man. I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri, but I was raised in Las Vegas, Nevada. But all my family's from Kansas City, Missouri, so I had no choice but to be Chiefs fan. So,
hey, you grew up into the city, might as well.
Yeah,
that's just how it goes, man. Just like growing up in South San Jose, I just grew up into the Niners more than the Cowboys because my family were the other way around.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Most definitely.
Yeah, you know, the Niners and Chiefs, they go way back in certain...
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, what's up to everybody, man? What's up, Grandizer? What's up? Oh, we got a rival fan from your division, David from Colorado. And we got a couple of guys here and there. But speaking of the Niners and Chiefs, they have a really good history when we go back in time. Like, you look at the time that Joe Montana went to the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
It kind of looks weird at the time. But then who would have thought years later or decades later this would have been the Super Bowl matchup a couple years back, man?
Right. Well, going to the history of the Chiefs and Niners is that we would always get your quarterbacks that you guys let go. We took Steve Bono, we took Elvis Gorback, Alex Smith, like every quarterback that y'all had, we want to rent them for like a couple years, and then
Yeah, especially with Alex Smith, he didn't do too bad for y'all. Like he doing pretty good.
Yeah, I loved Alex Smith, for what he did for the team. He kept us afloat, and I always respect Alex Smith. So.
Yeah, he wasn't given quite a fair chance in his early career, but once Harbaugh turned that dude's career, it was like he turned out to be a different quarterback, and then you guys got the better end of the deal, and then whatever happened from there, when you guys got Patrick Mahomes, what was your thought then when you guys drafted this quarterback?
Oh, I was happy. Because initially before I even knew about Patrick Mahomes, I mean, I seen a couple of games ahead, but I didn't really pay him no mind because he went to Texas Tech. But once I started really watching the film and stuff like that, because of course everybody was going into Deshaun Watson was the number one guy. He was doing everything in Clemson. Hindsight 2020, kind of happy we didn't get Deshaun Watson, but we end up once I saw the film on Patrick Mahomes and saw his arm and the things that he could do with running to his right and the different platforms he could throw from, I was like, that's the guy I want. And when we drafted him, I was happy.
Yeah, and it was great for the fact he was able to learn from Alex Smith for just that 1 year. And that takes valuable lessons because if you throw a rookie quarterback out there, they tend to struggle early on. And that's not what you want to do. You want to make sure he builds confidence. Maybe learning from a guy like Alex Smith isn't the worst case, but it's worked out for you guys.
Yeah. No, definitely. Him sitting, he learned how to be a pro. He always credits Alex Smith for that, teaching him how to be a pro, how to study, how to, just take care of his body, things of that nature. So definitely.
Yeah, and then the interesting part about it is this led into a Super Bowl, and man, this was just one of those weeks where this is out the window. As much as I
Yeah.
respect you, I just wanted this win so bad, but you guys came away better, and you guys were just a dominant team. But when you look at the matchups, man, Kelsey and Kittle in the Super Bowl, man, that was like something to watch, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Kittle and Kelsey have always, been the two guys who been compared to each other. Who's number one, who's number two. I just think they're both great talents. Kittle, he's probably the better blocker of the two, which I think Kelsey gets a bad rap for his block. I think he's actually a pretty good blocker himself. But I just think they're both great tight ends. And, one thing I do love is they have a relationship outside of football with the tight end university. So, and both of them always vouching for each other and, champion each other. So, yeah, I always have respect for George Kittle's.
I've always liked Kelsey's game because he's never quite missed a lot of time. He's been consistent. He's been 1,000-yard tight end year in and year out. It doesn't matter. This guy, I just wish Kittle just had the ability to stay healthy, man. That was the only thing. I mean, at first, maybe in the beginning, during the early time, I would have put Kittle in the mix, but now I feel like, man, I hate to say I have to put Kelsey up a notch on him.
Only because of the durability thing, just the
consistency.
Because talent wise, I think they're right there with each other. So
yeah, definitely. So when you saw how that matchup went, man, that was just like, man, just that close, and then you guys just capitalized and took it from there, man. It was like our defense was playing right on the money, dude.
Oh man, you guys were giving Mahomes problems. He threw two picks, one to Fred Warner, and then I forgot who the other one he threw it to, but he threw two picks, and then
Tavares Moore was our safety.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where your defense was just getting at us. Nick Bosa, that defensive line was just giving us problems, and then the infamous third and long. Can we win Ross play? And from there, it just seemed like the momentum swing, and we end up winning the Super Bowl. But it was not, it wasn't easy. I don't take that for granted. That we won that Super Bowl because it was hard fought. It was a lot of instances we probably should have lost that Super Bowl.
Oh, dude, the defense was outstanding. It was definitely giving you guys some fits. But that one game changer that you're talking about, you had Sammy Watkins, you had Tyreek Hill. They were just burners, bro. Like, it was hard to pick your poison. But when you found out about the Chiefs trading Tyreek Hill, man, what was your thought? Were you kind of disappointed at the fact you guys got rid of one of your best talented receivers in football, man?
Well, of course, because, everybody initially thought, okay, he's about to sign on the dotted line. They made him an offer. He's accepted it. He was going to sign on the dotted line. But then, I did notice it was starting to slow drag a little bit. It was like, I was like, what's taking so long for him to, to sign the contract? And then we wake up one morning and now they're talking about, they're far apart. And now he wants to be the highest paid because he saw Devontae Adams deal. And now they talking about trading him to the Jets or the Dolphins. And we're like, everybody in Chiefs Kingdom was like, what's going on? But then initially, once we calmed down and we saw all the draft picks we got, we was like, okay, now we can go in the draft. I mean, definitely you don't want to get rid of a talent like Tyreek Hill. He's one of a kind. Yeah. Nobody has the speed that he has. But we did initially do some things that we love. We got some pieces on defense, which we needed to get better on. We needed to get better in our cornerback room. We got a defensive lineman in George Karlaftis, who's having a pretty good season so far. And we got the rookie wide receiver, Sky Moore, who's everybody's excited about, who, as he's getting more opportunity, he's looking like the kid that everybody thought he was going to be. And the more opportunities he get, I think he's going to be a viable asset to this team.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's business in all perspective. Like, you can't always pay everybody. So
right,
I guess it's always the risky part of what happens. But in the long haul, you guys are kind of like trying to build the most out of Mahomes with whatever talent he can get. Like, when Juju's healthy, he's no doubt a really good receiver. Like, he's outstanding.
Yeah, most definitely. I was happy because we tried to get Juju last year. And I was hoping we got him last year to add to the Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, because that's always been our problem. We've been so centric, Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Like, if we don't get them the ball, third and fourth receiver, they can't get open on their own. So it was that's why I felt like this offense kind of got stagnant after a while because it was so big play centric that we had no middle ground. It was nothing in the middle. Like they had to learn last year. That's why when we were struggling on offense last year, Patrick had to learn to take the what the defense gives him, not having to go for the highlight real big play so much and just dink and dunk. It's okay to get 5 yards here. It's okay to get 10 yards here. You don't always have to get the big touchdown.
Yeah, without a doubt. Like, hey, I like to just throw this guy out because personally, he's a Rams fan. He was probably pissed off about this trade, man. Rams were robbed. Lynch went F them picks, moles, and copying the. And then he says that you guys made a mistake letting go Tyreek, which I think he's a generational challenge. He's a game changer, but you have to go by the business perspective because you want to build around Mahomes. You don't want to come up short on cap space because you can't keep everybody. But if you build your pieces like the way you guys are building it, like Sky Moore, give it a year or so, maybe he'll develop into a really solid receiver for you guys. And then Scantley, I don't know. Scantley can make the big plays when it's necessary, but you can see why Rodgers doesn't have that full trust on him. Miko Hart.
Yeah, Scantley's not living up. They was hoping like he would be the big play guy, and he's not really getting the big plays like he got in Green Bay. But and then Miko is kind of like it's a divide in Chiefs Keenan. Like some people really love Miko, and then some people really hate Miko. Like no matter what Miko does, they just hate him. And I'm on the side of I like Miko. I like what he brings to the table. I just felt like he didn't have the opportunities because he was behind Tyreek Hill. Like Tyreek Hill is going to get majority of those type of plays, not McCole. So I think McCole sometimes gets a bad rap.
Yeah, and plus you get to see what he can do also. So it doesn't really hurt much when you got a really good quarterback who can adapt with anything. Like even last season without Tyreek Hill, they've actually won games even without him at times. So why not just take the chances, build a future? That's what I like about Kansas City. Like despite them getting rid of some of their players because of the way it's business-wise, but you still got your quarterback, you still got Andy Reid, and the running game. I think as soon as you guys start to utilize your running game, you guys are going to be very good, dude. Like I like what you guys got as far as a fantasy standpoint, but they're good, bro.
Yeah. But I just need Andy Reid to be more consistent with the running game. The games that we've won this year is games that we ran over 100 and some yards total yards. When we ran under that, we lost Buffalo and the Colts. So we definitely need to keep that balance going with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Isaiah Pacheco, and Gerald McKinnon. That 300 monster, we need to keep that rotation going.
Yeah, like you guys need to if you guys can just mix up more. I think, like you said, you guys won some games when it came down to your running backs running for 100. Like that's what makes it so effective for any offense. If you can balance your offense and do a lot of everything, then it's going to be hard to stop. Oh, question 2. Okay, Grandizer. Question 2: the 2000 NFL season. What was Cristal's team record prediction? How has that changed now? What was your prediction going into the season, man?
I had picked us to go 12-5, and I'm keeping it the same. I'm gonna keep it the same.
Going into the season during the offseason, I still didn't buy into the AFC West making these moves, bro. I was just saying these type of moves are desperate because I still think Kansas City is still going to win that division. Yeah. When I saw these moves by the Denver Broncos getting Russell Wilson, I'm like saying, man, they're desperate. Yeah. The Raiders, desperate. They needed to try to get ahead of the Chiefs, and the Chiefs weren't even that worried. They were just like, we're good, man. We'll build it around Mahomes.
And the Chargers, they built, but it's like the Chargers are going to charge us. They get hurt every season. Somebody gets hurt major. Joey Bosa, he stays on IR. It's all with Keenan Allen. He's in and out of the lineup. So they're talented. They have the record. They always are talented. They have the talented roster, but they always either get hurt or they do something stupid in the game or lose to a team they ain't supposed to lose to. So I wasn't really worried about none of the teams either.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I felt like those moves were just based because Kansas City was still going to win that division, and they
Yeah.
probably thought, hey, if we make these moves, maybe we have a chance to take that AFC West. And everybody was really kind of like underlooking the Chiefs, and they said, oh, the Chiefs weren't making this much moves. Oh, they're
Yeah.
going to finish last in division. And I was
Yeah.
just laughing, even as a non-AFC West fan. I was just looking at some of the Raider fans were saying, the Chargers, and then you had the Broncos saying stuff, and I'm like, dude, as long as Mahomes and Andy Reid are still here, bro, I'm not even doubting them. Because
Yeah.
I just told him, don't sleep on KC. And one of the Raider fans wanted to place a bet on me. And I told him, dude, you really want to bet against the Chiefs, bro? They're going to win the division. That's even, dude, I didn't even want to steal money off of that guy. Bro, I didn't do that.
Them Raider fans, I live in Vegas, so these Raider fans, they're unbearable, man. They really, really, really unbearable.
Oh, man. Oh, this is a good question since we're talking rookie class, man. Like, which one of the rookies from the Chiefs impressed you the most?
Yeah, I probably would have to go with actually our 7th round rookie cornerback, Jalen Watson. When Trent McDuffie, our 1st round pick corner, when he got hurt in the Arizona game because he hurt a hamstring on that stupid turf and the Cardinals, he had put on IR. So they put the 7th round rookie Jalen Watson. He's the one that got the infamous pick in the Chargers game that swung the game for us. But he's been a pleasant surprise. He's actually been holding his own in that backfield. So yeah, I think I've been impressed mostly with him, especially where he was picked.
Yeah, you got to always have those late round gems that can stand out. Maybe they outperform those top picks because they always got that blue chip on their shoulder.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get Trent McDuffie back this week. Hopefully he plays against y'all because we definitely missed him. But still, I'm impressed with Jalen Watson.
Oh yeah, that's the important factor is having a guy that can step in if injuries are happening. So even as a business perspective, how'd you feel about Javarius Ward just signing to the Niners, man? Was it like, we can replace him, or we just didn't have the money?
I knew going into the offseason we were not going to re-sign Javarius Ward because they had other options. They were in the mindset of signing Tyreek Hill and signing Orlando Brown Jr., our left tackle. So I knew Javarius Ward was going to be the odd man out. But I was happy for Javarius Ward that he got the deal that he got. I was happy that he went to a good team like San Francisco too. Because the thing about Javarius Ward is that, and he's balling out for you guys. Kudos to Javarius Ward, what he's doing with you guys. Javarius was he was up and down. Like he would have a game where he would lock everything down. Nobody's catching balls over him. He's just playing outstanding. But then they'll have a game where he's just getting burnt. He's getting cooked. Like, it's not good. He'll have his bad games, have his good games. Now, probably with you guys, he might have a better, career with you guys. But I always appreciate what Javarius Ward. Hey, man, he was one of the reasons why we won a Super Bowl. So, hey, I always, show love to Javarius Ward. And I'm just happy that he's with a good team and he got his money, that he deserved.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's just part of business. And when it comes down to it, he wanted the money and he deserved his pay. But, he's actually kind of outperforming the expectation. Like the way you were saying, like the game against the Bengals, he got burned a couple of times.
Yeah.
And that was costly at times. But since he's came to the Niners, he's only had 8 pass deflects, 1 pick. And he's actually kind of been a guy that's good against the run, too. Like when he goes for that run stop support, man, that dude's good, bro. Like he's physical. Like
yeah, he is.
He's still got plenty more to improve, but he's definitely the best pickup we've done so far this offseason.
Yeah, I've watched him when I watched a few of you guys' game, and I'm just like, look at him, man. He's out there getting it in. Like I'm happy for him, man.
Yeah, he is. Man, these Rams are liking these questions, man. But hey, we'll just go on it for a little, chime in on this question since it's one of the guys from Amelia Sports Report. I don't know when you guys played the Rams, but maybe you should get on.
We play him later this year.
Yeah, okay. For sure, man. That's going to be interesting because last time I remember that game was on a Monday night game, the shootout. And you know who made those plays mostly was Samson Ebicom. I think he had a couple of sacks, then he had a touchdown return interception, a fumble recover, and one of the most legendary ones. They went into the 50 burgers between both teams.
Yeah. We threw Mahomes threw that last pick to Marcus Peters.
Yeah, that's true. Well, okay. So we go on this question. Niners pay huge to blocks from LA. Dude, you always take all these moves, man. It had to be at some point enough's enough with these Rams, man. We're not gonna let it happen again.
I'm in the thinking of the Rams just have unlimited money. Like they just they just go
like they ain't broke.
They just have unlimited money and they just go out and just get guys. And I'm just like, where they getting all this money from? When they like in the negative in the salary cap, and they just go out there and just pay guys and get them.
Yeah. Like as far as like he said, like what did it cost for us to do that? It had to be a lot way because Jimmy doesn't throw much deep passes. So maybe this does become a security blanket because if we do stop the run, you might want to think twice about McCaffrey in the backfield or catching those screen passes. That's very lethal because when he catches the ball off the backfield, he's going to get you those big chunk of plays. It's like that's just how it goes, man. It's just you got to pay the price to get what you want, man. Not everything's cheap.
Yeah, and then you guys can do so much with him. You can have him and Debo in the backfield. You can just do crazy stuff.
he likes to get he's got mutual respect, but it's all good. But he's like one of the biggest trolls on the Niners community. He likes to come around. Like anytime it's bad happen, like anytime that something negative about the Niners, you'll see it on his video. He'll post the news and just put it like there. It's like that's just like his one exception. Like you know, but he said golf. I'll do Mahomes. That was on a Monday night. Yeah, those were like crazy numbers.
Yeah, he had one of his best games.
Man, these Rams fans are too optimistic about these moves, man.
I don't know, man. OBJ might be coming to KC, man.
Yeah, we'll see about it, man. Trade deadline ain't even done yet, but. No. We're not even getting point to the matchup, but man, like going into the season, man, there was just no doubt in my mind that I felt like KC's still going to win the AFC West and still be in the top of their conference. So it just didn't change much in my opinion. If I was just a betting man, if I was aggressive, I probably would have took the dude's bet, but I didn't want to do that. I just didn't want to feel like you know. The guy wanted to bet over $100, and I said, dude, I'm not trying to take your money, bro. I ain't all that money shit. But some people try to what is it like welch on you, and I don't fuck with that.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, I'll pay up if I lose the bet, but some people I've had it dealt with, man. Most of the people I've won bets with were either Raider fans, bro. They back away.
Oh yeah. You gotta watch them.
Yeah, especially, man. Yeah, it's just that's true. See, that's why I'm agreeing with this. I'm agreeing with what Niners all damn day saying. Yeah, dude, you guys get obsessed with us, man. Like I don't get it. We don't even go on your guys' little small market channel. We don't go to your Rams channel. We don't trash y'all Rams channel, bro. We just focus on the Niners community. But I do like the energy. But so you get that with your own rival, right? What do you mostly get all the trolls from the Chiefs? I mean, not for the Chiefs. I mean, from the Raiders, Chargers, or the Broncos.
It's mostly Raider fans. Raider fans are like our big rivalry. It depends on who's good. Like if the Raiders are good, then it's the Raider fans. If the Broncos are good, then the Bronco fans. Charger fans is kind of like, I really don't have no big beef with Chargers. So it's mostly Raiders and Broncos.
Yeah. Well, question to both: if Chris had Magic Wand that would make one Chiefs player on your IR roster completely healthy for this season, who would it be?
If Chris had a Magic Wand that can make one Chiefs player on your 22 IR roster completely healthy, I don't even know who's on the IR right now. I mean, As long as Patrick Mahomes is upright, that's the magic one I'm gonna put on. As long as 15's upright, maybe Travis Kelce, but yeah.
Oh yeah, keep them healthy. I mean, I don't
Mm.
think Chiefs have much of a big blow of injuries like some people make it sound like. They're still healthy. They're still playing
Yeah.
football. But if I
Yeah.
had to choose a certain player that I wish didn't miss the entire season, I wish I would just have Emmanuel Mosley back on the field.
Mhm.
If we can just get Emmanuel Mosley off IR, man, this secondary was lethal. It was scary. But now we're back to square one. So we have to hope that maybe Verrett could be the answer or Lenore. So it's like, man, we're just stuck with another problem.
I will say, he just got on now. He just tore his ACL. Our defensive tackle, Turk Warden. I wish he never got hurt. He was one of our better defensive tackles in the rotation. So probably be him.
Oh yeah. See, that's a good way because you said he's a good rotation guy, probably very
Yeah,
viable for you guys.
yeah.
But how do you feel about this matchup against the Niners since we're already playing this week? What would be like the one concerning factor going against the Niners that might worry you a little bit?
Y'all run game running against us now. What I'm a little bit more calm because we get our linebacker Willie Gay Jr. back, and he's our Fred Warner. He's the sideline to sideline dude who he's got 4.2, 4.3 speed. He can cover. He can do all that stuff. So that's the guy. Probably that's why I'm a little bit more hopeful for the running game because once he got suspended for 4 games, that's when our run defense kind of went down. When he was in there, that's when we was number 1 in run defense. So he's one of our better linebackers on the team, one of our better defenders. So, but if I were to say it's your run game, definitely your run game.
I think what concerns me against the Chiefs is just Mahomes. Gotta stop that guy. Gotta stop him, or it's a long day, man. Like, dude, that's the only one. That's why I'm picking that one guy, and that's Mahomes, man. That guy doesn't matter. He'll make magic out of something. Like, even if you think the play's dead, he might just pull a Steph Curry and just throw a pass or something like that.
Although my other concern would probably be Nick Bosa. If Nick Bosa getting 2-3 sacks, because Orlando Brown has not been playing particularly well this season, and if they put Nick Bosa on his side, or even on Wiley or other right tackle who hasn't played too good either, I'm scared from Mahomes. Like Mahomes is he's gonna have to run, break containment, make something happen type plays, and that's where the running game is gonna have to come into play to kind of calm down your pass rush and screens. We got to do a lot more screens.
Yeah. So like what really scares me most is overall just the Kansas City Chiefs offense, man. If you guys are on the field more, our chances are pretty slim because the more Mahomes is on the field, the more our defense gets tired, the more Mahomes can have time to throw the ball, or maybe you guys are able to utilize your running game and maybe that wears us down, and that could be concerning for the Niners. But like you said, our running game is pretty dangerous at times. I think what you guys want to do is you want to force Jimmy to beat you guys with throwing the ball or taking deep shots, and that just hasn't been his forte.
Yeah, we definitely have to make you guys one-dimensional. If we can get some early stops on rundowns, and make you guys in 3rd and longs, 3rd and 12s, 3rd and 9s, like that'll work better in our favor. But if you guys are getting 3rd and 4, 2nd and 2, yeah, it's gonna be a long game.
For sure, man. That's gonna be a really long game, and depends on how it goes, man. Like I really look at the Chiefs, and people might underestimate some parts of your defense. I think your defense doesn't get much of the love that everybody thinks. Maybe because some of your past defense is a little bit of an issue at times. But like you said, a little bit of the struggles on the run defense. But since you're bringing back reinforcement with Willie Gay at linebacker, who's got that speed, and then you're getting one of your cornerbacks back. I looked at the updates, and I think Trent McDuffie, whatever his name is going to return for this game. Yeah.
And Andy Reid said they're gonna wait and see on McDuffie. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play in this game. If he does play, it's gonna be on probably on a snap count. Like he won't start. He'll probably come in on certain downs, certain passing downs and stuff like that, because he is coming back from a hamstring injury, and those hamstrings are kind of difficult to predict.
Yeah, it is. And just by if I had to take some of those weaknesses, man, I would try to see if you guys want Jimmy to try to beat you guys in the passing game. Maybe we might want to test that secondary. Want to see if you guys can get it done, man.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that's what I would do. I would go after our secondary.
Yeah, run defense. I think your run defense doesn't get enough credit, man. Like I think you guys do good as soon as you guys make those adjustments.
Yeah, we do. Like I said, I love our linebackers, Nick Bolton, Willie Gay's coming back, and Darius Harris, the guy who came in for Willie Gay while he was out. He played really well, so I would love for him to stay on the field while we're in our base defense. So yeah, I like I said, I love our linebackers, and Chris Jones is our anchor on that defensive line. If Chris Jones can get pressure and sacks on Jimmy G, then that's going to make the defense's job a lot easier too.
Oh yeah, that's what you want. You want Chris Jones to be a factor, but we've actually kind of been using game plans like we did with Aaron Donald. And what has Aaron Donald did against us? Not much.
Yeah.
We got to neutralize Chris Jones then.
Yeah, most definitely.
Make it look like he's not even around. Like we did that with Aaron Donald. Like you ever think of those events where the security guards is just blocking their way and say, "No, you can't come here."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah, man. But when I look at the matchup, man, if you're going to beat Kansas City, you have to beat them in a shootout, and it's not going to be easy. And I never understood why you guys lost to the Colts, man. You guys were a better team, but I guess you get one of those days.
They came in that game thinking that they was just show up and win the game. That's what it was. At the end of the day, they came in and thought, hey, we're the Chiefs. They're the Colts. They suck. They got Matt Ryan. I got Patrick Mahomes. We're just going to run a vanilla offense, and we're going to win the game. But you can't do that if you're muffing punts, if, you can't run the football effectively, and the Colts just took advantage of it.
Yeah, they sure did. And then, to be fair, Buffalo's kind of they're actually a really good team, and you guys were playing close games. So maybe this is not exactly a concern for the Chiefs. You guys are still maybe in the mix of still getting to get to the Super Bowl, because I feel like Mahomes is pretty much going to be the guy that you have to defend, and everybody's hyping Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen too, but I feel like Mahomes is a proven product compared to Josh Allen. Yeah.
I love Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen when he first came in the league. I thought he was a gamer. I just thought he went for it. When I saw him jumping over people and running, I said, oh, this guy's a gamer. Like, he wants it. Like, I like that. But to the comparison to Allen and Mahomes, it kind of like this. You got one who's been to 2 Super Bowls, won, got an MVP. Like, he's done so much. And y'all just handing the crown over to Josh Allen, and he hasn't done anything. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but he hasn't. He hasn't won the AFC Championship game, at least. He hasn't won a Super Bowl. Like, he hasn't won an MVP yet. So why are we giving him the crown? Don't you have to earn it in this league? I thought, like,
maybe they're just feeling. Maybe they're just feeling like throwing some other superstars out there, and I got it.
I get it. You get you get a little old with just praising one guy. That's how we got with Tom Brady. Tom Brady was winning all the Super Bowls. We got tired of him. So Tyreek Hill made Mahomes. Cut it out.
This guy's such a no, but I still think Kansas City is still a good football even without Tyreek Hill. Like, they still are able to spread the ball, so that's what makes it so scary with Mahomes. Like,
Mahomes still leads the league in touchdowns this season. If Tyreek Hill made him, I don't think he'd be leading the league in touchdowns right now. He's still top 3 in yards, passing yards. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's spreading the ball to all the other receivers. You got Mecole Hardman, you got Scantley, you got Juju. Besides Kelsey is like your other weapon. But man, you keep spreading the ball, so it's like anybody's guess. Like Sky Moore. So there's a lot of room for you guys to get better. So it doesn't have to just be one individual player, because now they have to figure out who they have to cover. That's the great part. Yeah,
I agree.
This guy is funny.
Josh Allen is a media darling.
Well, he is.
Yeah, he is. Because everybody loves he can run, and and don't get it wrong, he's a physical freak. He is a physical freak.
Oh yeah, dude. Like I've met the guy during a junior college day when I was watching the game, and he played for a small college called Ridley City College, and or was it Ridley College or something like that? And he played against one of the city colleges, and he was a lot skinny then. But then as soon as he took a transfer to Wyoming, I guess he just only did 1 year of junior college, and then he went to Wyoming. So that kid ended up being a lot bigger and a lot stronger. Everybody, Fresno State, passed on him because they didn't think he was big enough and tough enough to play. Then he got bigger eventually. So it's he's a nice guy. I've met him, and I even went to his hometown, which is like a countryside. Dude, there's not really much to do in Fireball, bro. Nothing. Just country fields, farming. You don't even have a McDonald's, no other stuff out there, bro. It's just fields.
Oh wow, it sounds boring.
It does. I'm not that kind of person that want to live in a boring country area. All you got is a community market, and you barely have what is it, a Family Dollar? That's it.
Jeez, that sounds like Pahrump.
Yeah. No, but that just shows how humble he is, man. He comes from a small town.
No, he definitely is a humble kid, and I like him. Like I said, he's definitely one of the top quarterbacks in this league. I'm not taking nothing away from him. And Buffalo is lucky they got a franchise quarterback. But I just say, can the man prove it first? Can the man get some accolades before we compare him to somebody who got the accolades?
Yeah, that's true. You're right on it, man. Mahomes is already established. He's already been to multiple Super Bowl appearances, won one, and been to championship after championship. So I think anybody who has doubts on Mahomes need a silence, man. This guy's proven it all.
Yeah. But
yeah. So how do you feel about your receivers? How do you think they're going to match against our secondary?
It's going to be an interesting matchup. Of course, Travis Kelce is going to be. He's the ultimate weapon. I mean, that chemistry between him and Mahomes, that's going to be the guy that you guys are going to have to key on. I think the matchup between Fred Warner and Travis Kelce is the big matchup. Because Fred Warner, he can cover guys like that. Juju's going to have another game like he had last week. We need Juju and Juju's he's been solid this year, but last week was the first week where we finally saw Juju, the talent that we saw in Pittsburgh when he was with AB. We always know he had the talent. It's just doing it. He's had some injuries in the past, so this is probably the first year he's coming in fully healthy. So yeah, I need Juju to be consistent in our running game. Like I said, our running game has to be that third weapon in this for us to be successful against you guys.
Yeah, I would think testing our run defense would be key for you guys because we're coming off injuries at that spot. So you might want to take those chances by utilizing your running game more than your passing game. But it doesn't hurt to throw it to Kelce because he's on my fantasy team. I think I would love to get any points off of this guy. But yeah, that would be your best bet. Maybe try to utilize more of your running game, and maybe our defense doesn't do the job in coverage. Maybe you guys are able to figure out something.
Yeah, most definitely. Our running game will help out with play action pass, which will make your guys creep up more and respect the run. We got to make you guys respect the run, though.
Exactly. You guys know that we're a running team, so you guys might want to stack the box. So you might want to try to force Jimmy to throw the ball more than usual. And history has proved when Jimmy throws the ball more than his usual, we lose at times. So that could be what you guys want. Force Jimmy to beat you.
Yeah. Okay, now that we're talking about quarterbacks, what were your guys' initial thought of Trey Lance?
Oh, dude, I really liked his upside, but the injury was just unfortunately, man. It's this was going to take the offense to the next level, but we needed to give this kid a chance to develop. But some criticism were oh, he's not ready. But you expect this guy to have some growing pains because he hasn't played much games, and it's been a couple of years since the last time he actually played a lot of football. So
Right.
I really like his upside. I think next year he'll probably learn better.
Yeah, he definitely has all the physical tools of just putting it together.
Yeah, he's got all the tools, but it's just going to take a little time, and I don't have high expectations for him because he's already injured, but I feel like maybe next year he'll step up and maybe be more wise on what he can do and not do next time.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
What is the history stats of the Chiefs versus Niners? Well, I think if I remember correctly by the overall matchup, I think it's 8-7 because you include the Super Bowl, which the Chiefs won, because it was actually like 7-7 in the regular season.
Oh,
But
okay.
now you include the Super Bowl where they won, it's 8-7 against the Niners.
Oh, okay.
But
Interesting.
but let's debate a Kansas City tight ends, Let's go on debate, man. Who you think is the best of all time? Travis Kelce or my boy Tony Gonzalez, man?
Oh man. This question is hard because unfortunately for Tony Gonzalez, he never really got to play. He didn't get to play with the Mahomes. And then the offenses that Tony played in, they were run first centric. So for him to do the things that he was doing in those offenses is amazing in itself. And the game has changed so much. It's more of a passing league. Everything is spread out, throw the football down the field. Whereas, like I said, Tony was too tight end set. Get the ball to Priest Holmes, get the ball to Jamal Charles. It was a run. We were a run first team. So, I might I might edge Travis only because the run that Travis is on. Just the consistency of having over 1,000 yards. You don't see that in the tight end a lot. Like, they'll have 2 or 3 1,000-yard seasons, and then after that they may have a 800 or 900-yard season. But for what Travis Kelce is doing is anything short of amazing.
Well, I can respectfully disagree on that part, but like you said, he is consistent. He's been healthy, but I feel like there's just no other tight end of Tony Gonzalez's caliber. This guy done it with a guy like Trent Green at quarterback. He's played with like a lot of different quarterbacks, but he still made the most out of it. So it kind of shows. It kind of proves to me, like, what if he had a Mahomes?
Yeah, no doubt, no, most definitely. Like I said, Tony is one of the greats, and if you want to split, it's 1A, 1B to me. Like,
that's what I like about these debates, man.
If anybody wants to say Tony's better than Travis, I'm not going to sit there and argue with you.
But it's a good problem to have. That's
Tony's always going to be one of our greats, even though Chiefs Kingdom has a little, problem
Kelce.
with him.
I mean, I like Kelce. Don't get me wrong.
Chiefs Kingdom is kind of not in the good favors with Tony Gonzalez because he was recognizing more Atlanta than he did the Chiefs, but I still got love for Tony Gonzalez.
I still think he doesn't get enough appreciation like he's done in KC, and then when he goes to Atlanta, he did something, but that was at the end of his career, so it was like
he was still productive.
He still did it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he was still productive.
But yeah, I can't deny Travis Kelce, man. Consistency, staying healthy, and being the reliable target in the red zone. And dude, I just have to thank him for Monday Night Football for me to remain undefeated like last week. Because if it wasn't for those 33 points, I would have lost.
Jim, the Bengals are not going to make the playoffs this year because they've been figured out.
Oh, man, dude. And the Bengals, I don't even know what kind of team they are. It's like they play good the following week and then they don't look like the same team. It's like, I don't know. I think it's going to come down to the Chiefs in Buffalo.
Teams have learned, play too high safety. Don't let Jamar Chase get deep. That's what they learned. And you guys still ain't figured that out yet. Oh, maybe y'all do, but y'all got to learn how to run the football. And I don't know how you don't run the football when you got Mixon in the backfield.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the struggles are going because of their offensive line. It's
that too, and Joe Burrows is going to be David Carr. That's what he's about to be.
David Carr, not Derek Carr. David.
No, he's going to be David Carr because he's going to be punch drunk and not want to play football no more.
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, that line is terrible. Like, if Carr had an actual good line in Houston, I think he would have been pretty solid, but it was just, it ruined his career right there.
It ruined him. He was done. He was seeing ghosts. And that's going to be Joe Burrows.
All right, let me ask you a non-matchup game. Do you feel like if Derek Carr were to leave the Raiders, do you think he'll have a better career outside the Raiders or not?
It depends on where he goes.
New Orleans? Let's say New Orleans can be a good example.
No, he would be good in New Orleans. I think he'd be good in New Orleans because they got weapons. They got Kamara. When Michael Thomas is healthy, you got Thomas. You got the rookie, Chris Olave. They got a nice little – and then their defense is good. They actually have a pretty decent defense, even though it didn't show it last night. But I think they had more so to do with Dalton throwing 2 picks, sixes
Dude,
last night.
who does that, man?
Yeah,
Dalton's not even the same quarterback. He hasn't been
yeah,
the same since decades ago. It's like, man.
yeah. So yeah, I definitely I think Carr would be good with the Saints. He would have he's got to be in a good situation. You can't like put him with the Texans and expect him to be good.
Oh no, but if you look at the Raiders, they're not even. I mean, they're giving them the talent, but they just don't have the right people around them to succeed. So it's like,
Yeah, most definitely.
so do you really feel like the Broncos were like? Do you think that the Seahawks actually ripped them off on that trade with Russell Wilson? It's like they just gave him a lemon car.
Yeah, I don't think it's all Russell Wilson. I think that coach is just incompetent. I think when Broncos originally signed that coach, they thought they were getting Aaron Rodgers,
Man,
and
they thought so.
they thought they were getting Aaron Rodgers. And when the Aaron Rodgers didn't come over, they still got that coach, and they're coming to find out he's not good. He wasn't good. He wasn't good in college. He wasn't good in college as a head coach. So why would you think he was good over here? Because he was the OC. Matt LaFleur calls all the plays.
Yeah, and
He
Aaron
knows.
Rodgers calls his shots too. So it's
Yeah,
like,
and it's Aaron Rodgers. Like, how hard is it to call plays for Aaron Rodgers? Like, Aaron Rodgers goes out there and does Aaron Rodgers. That's what he does. So,
dude, it was kind of like hiring McCarthy because of clock management too. But then in a way, it was like, what's his name, Joe Philbin, those type of guys that didn't turn out to be good hirings. Then you had the one that was with the Broncos a while back, but people kept crediting him over Peyton Manning, which I thought was stupid. Adam Gase, that was another. That's the example of the hire. I think he's another Adam Gase.
Yeah, that's exactly who he is. Adam Gase. I don't know how that dude kept getting jobs. He got a job with the Jets. I don't know why he was over there. Like, come on now. Yeah, Nathaniel Hackett is a one and done. He'll be gone next year.
I think that would be the part. Like, they'll have to look for a good replacement, which I think Ken Dorsey, even though he needs another year of seasoning as a play caller, I think he's got a good quality. But why do a lot?
Or get Eric Bieniemy. How about that?
Speaking of Eric Bieniemy, man, like, I don't understand why no other teams even hire this guy as a head coach, bro. This guy qualifies. Like, anybody who is under the Andy Reid coaching tree, they succeed.
Yeah.
Like, and he's got a good track record with running games and developing quarterbacks. Like, why is he not even qualified for a head coaching job is beyond me, man.
I don't get it either. And a lot of people try to say, oh, well, because they feel like Andy Reid runs the plays. Well, y'all didn't have that problem with Matt Nagy, and then had that problem with Peterson, Doug Peterson, when he was the OC. Like, that's not a good, Eric Bieniemy should be a head coach in this league. I'm not saying he would succeed. I'm not saying he would be great, but he deserves an opportunity.
Deserves at least a chance, yeah.
To show that he can be a head coach in this league. And I think he can be. I think he knows how to rally the troops. I know he's the one who gets us right. Like, when they're messing up on offense, it's Eric Bieniemy going to Mahomes, going to Travis Kelce, going to the offensive line, the running backs. Like, come on, we better than this. Like, he's the one that gets them in line.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's like, that's just how it happens, man. Like, I think he's a good play caller, but I really think if he gets the chance, I think he can't be any worse than those other hires, Like, Nathaniel Hackett, are you serious? Like, Dennis Allen, you're kidding me? The guy couldn't even keep a job with the Raiders. Josh McDaniels, this guy he's been known to be controversial and contradicted, man.
Yeah, he wasn't good with the Broncos. Now, I will commend Josh Allen what he did with Mac Jones last year. They did go to the playoffs, even though they got smoked in the playoffs. But I think it's more Belichick than it was Josh Daniels. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah,
it sure is. And Aaron Rodgers is who he is. But when you look at this overall, man, it's just these are like really good questions when it comes down to it. Yeah, but coming down to it, man, like, as far as like your X factors, let's pick your X factors for a certain player that nobody's even talking about that maybe be the factor to have against the Niners. Like, if you told me this player I might need to watch out for on both sides of the ball.
On offense, I'd probably say Clyde Edwards-Helaire. More so in the passing game. Once they get him in the passing game going, and he can be a weapon, in the passing game. So I would say Clyde. On defense, L'Jarius Sneed. He's
Okay.
good in that. He's good in that slot, man. When he's in that slot, he can blitz. He can cover. Like he does it all. He's a jack of all trades. So yeah, L'Jarius Sneed is the guy on defense that definitely you got to watch out for.
Yeah, I can see those as X factors. As far as like X factors for my team, it's got to be Juwan Jennings, man. If he can be that other third receiver you sleep on, he'll do good in the blocking game. He doesn't just catch the ball at times, but he does a really good job as a blocker. And if he gets involved on those third down conversions or red zones, this is where it makes the huge X factor. As far as our defense, man, it really depends on on certain players. Like I think Bosa is the X factor, but I don't want to go towards his name. So I think you got to leave him out because he's a big name. So I would say a guy like Samson Ebicom, he doesn't get enough recognition. He's very underrated. He's actually kind of played his best football since coming over here. And he's kind of been very dependable. So maybe getting him some pressure towards Patrick Mahomes could be the difference maker. And getting somebody like him can be a factor. But nobody's giving love for Dre Greenlaw. But I'm going to go with just Samson Ebicom because the fact he's underlooked. So I think that's a guy you might need to watch out for. If you're thinking that maybe Bosa would be your problem, maybe you might need to double check on number 56. That guy's going to be one of those guys you might want to watch out for.
He'll probably be lined up on Wiley and yeah.
Probably so, yeah. But yeah, man. So before we get to the end of the show, man, let's just put like score predictions, and then you can tell everybody where they can find you, and then maybe down the road we could definitely collaborate on next time, man.
Most definitely. I said it on my channel. What was it? 28-24 is what I predicted.
Seems reasonable. Seems very reasonable because you guys play competitive, but before we made that trade with McCaffrey, but I don't even think we're gonna play him. So I kind of had some doubts because of the injuries, but I don't know if we're going to beat you guys. So I'm kind of keeping it realistic. Like, okay, if we're fully healthy, it'd be a close game. So it went from 31 to 17 to at least 24 to 31. Still no big difference. I still think the Chiefs are going to beat us. It's hard for me to have confidence, but I got to see it on the field, man.
I hear you. No, I think it's going to be closer to what you think it is. I think it's going to be a late score that we got to score to win to beat you guys.
One or the other, or it could be one of those upsets. But I'm just kind of low key on it, man. So we'll see how it goes, man. I respect teams. I look at how they match up against my team, and some of the fan base will give me some criticism for doing it the other way. And I'm like, dude, I had to look at matchups and see how we fare.
No, I hear you. Dang. 40, dang, Everett, 35.
It's those Rams, bro. They got, dude, they're like those one, they're like that one little brother that just comes into your room and bothers you during a little chit chat with your buddies, and then one of those type of fans.
Yeah. Oh, Rams invented F them picks with the chit when the chit.
Dude, I think anybody's invented that shit. I think there was a lot of teams that made trades. I think people don't give credit to the Dallas Cowboys. They actually invented they invented, hey, we'll take your picks and we'll win championships.
Yeah.
I think in some ways you don't need the early round picks unless you don't feel the need if you can't develop them. But yeah, Rams have actually capitalized on not caring for early picks because they've taken a lot of the all-stars. They go from a Marcus Peters to a Jalen Ramsey. I don't know how they did it, but it's crazy.
They did it.
How do you go from a Marcus Peter to a Jalen Ramsey? I don't understand.
I swear they got monopoly money over there with the Rams.
Something, man. That crypto money or something, man. Come on, Rams, give some money to the other teams, man. They
unlimited. Y'all just turn the salary cap. This is Madden. Y'all just turn the salary cap off. And
I guess they are the manipulators. I wouldn't say they originate the F them picks. I think they originate the screw the cap space. We'll pay you when we can.
Yeah, they know how to push the money down. We'll deal with that later.
Like, we'll deal with it later. Like, screw this damn thing. Hey, I hope you're right, Brian, but I just don't see it, man. Just keeping it realistic. But as far as all that, man, tell everybody where they can find you, and then we can definitely end this on a high note, bro.
Yeah, like I said, you can find me Arrowhead Chief Podcast. I'm on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Anchor, Apple, Google, Stitcher, Breaker, all of them. All of the streaming platforms that do podcasts. Arrowhead Chief Podcast is on there. And like I said, you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, Chief Podcast. You can find me and my guy, shout out to my co-host Clarence, me and him, you can find us, doing our thing. So
all right, man. And that goes for Vermilia. If you want to get a Chiefs fan, go check out this dude. Definitely,
yes,
man.
Yes, sir.
But hey, man, as always, CG Ruthless and Chris Style is out, and we'll definitely catch you guys later. But let the best team win on.